4 months have passed and Catherine is still at war with her husband Peter. She is also pregnant with the Emperor's child. Catherine decides to use Peter's weaknesses against him. Tired and starving, Peter agrees to abdicate the throne on one condition: he will live in the palace and spend 20 minutes a day with her and their child. He gives her a present, the head of Catherine's ex-lover. Then Count Ola declares her the reigning empress. Catherine forgives Mariel for her betrayal. Archie blackmails the empress to keep himself alive, but Catherine finds a new candidate for the patriarch's position. Peter wants to make his wife fall in love with him and attends her coronation. Now Catherine has to prove that she can be a great leader. And her first decree is that Russia will no longer be a one-church country. Willing to punish Peter, Catherine locks him in his chambers. She also exiles his loyal friends Grigor and Georgina to France. Georgina is happy to leave, but Grigor chooses to stay in the palace with Peter. Catherine wants to prevent a war with the Ottomans. Being under huge pressure, she asks the doctor to give her a wonderful cure from sleepiness. She gets high and finally focuses on her hopes for the future. Catherine has to meet Sunduk, the Ottoman ambassador, and persuade him to avoid war with Russia. She manages to impress him as a wise and spectacular leader, but Peter sends his people to kill Sunduk on his way back home. Meanwhile, Catherine struggles with complete sexual dissatisfaction. Desperate, she comes to her husband and asks Peter for a sexual favor. From that moment, it becomes his regular duty. Step by step, Peter wins over the Emperor's heart. Archie keeps weaving intrigues around Catherine. The palace has a very unusual guest, a crocodile. But Catherine thinks that all problems can be solved by the brain, no strength. She sets a trap for the crocodile, catches it, and amazes everyone in the palace. Catherine makes another spontaneous decision to free all the serfs, which leads to unexpected and terrifying consequences. The nobles stand against Catherine and a huge massacre breaks out in the palace. With the help of Peter and her loyal servants, Catherine manages to prevent civil war. She is devastated over what happened. But she has another reason to worry, an international science competition. Also, Catherine's mother Joanna comes to visit. Peter wants to win her favor and he succeeds even too much. Grigor has an affair with Mariel. Peter realizes that he doesn't want to be an emperor anymore. To impress her mother, Catherine presents a roller coaster at the competition, but Joanna says it's just fun, not science. The empress is about to give birth in a week. Joanna keeps seducing Peter and scheming behind her daughter's back. When Catherine discovers some of her intrigues, she tells Joanna to leave the palace. Her mother visits Peter and they have sex, which leads to her accidental death when she falls out of the window. Her death is covered up and kept a secret by Peter's people. The Ottomans make an attempt to poison Catherine with beautiful candles. Now the Empress is ready to go to war. Catherine gives birth to Paul. Peter is actually a great father, but he still feels guilty about having an affair with Joanna. Georgina returns to the palace, but Grigor wants to continue his relationship with Mariel. He also tells her about the incident with Joanna. By the way, Mariel's father is dead and she urgently needs to find a husband. After an exhausting casting, she chooses her little nephew and their engagement keeps her safe and sound. Catherine admits that she loves Peter and they make love. They finally look happy together, but Mariel tells Catherine the horrible truth about Peter and Joanna. The worst thing is that Catherine loves him, but now she has to kill Peter. Catherine is going to meet the Ottoman Sultan. He is acting aggressively and attacks her, but she kills him first. And the same thing she wants to do with Peter. Even their sincere talk at Mariel's wedding doesn't help them to reconcile. After the wedding, the Empress visits Peter's quarters and kills the man who turns out to be Peter's lookalike, Pugachev. When her husband enters the room, Catherine hugs him and cries on his shoulder.